I just keep hearing, God always gives you what you want. God always gives you what you want. Whether you believe in God, spirit, universe, you always receive what you want. And I kept feeling like, from the collective, from you, this urge for clarity and direction, this like deep truth seeking, and God is helping you to remember all of the times that you prayed and you meditated and you received what you wanted, but it didn't necessarily come in the way that you were expecting. It didn't look the way that you were hoping it would look. And spirit is reminding you that regardless of where you are in life, spirit is always going to answer your prayers. Spirit's always going to help you remember how far you've come, and to give you the strength to go wherever you need to go. Sorry, my camera's acting funny. And I just kept thinking about how, someone recently had asked me about their path being blocked and what they should do. And I just kept feeling this from spirit of tell them about their heart, like tell them about their heart. And so I kept reminding this person that God always gives you what you are wanting when you seek love, when you are in the same frequency as God, because your gifts, your destiny, your light, your path is a path of love. Your life is not to be a path of greed. It's not a path of selfishness. It's not a a path of vanity. That's not what it is. Yes, spirit will bless you with prosperity and health and all these things, but your destined path, your divine path, your path where you are stepping into the spotlight and making an impact is a path of surrender, of truth, of love. Like, you have to know what it is that your heart truly wants. And your entire life, God has been trying to reflect back to you your truth when you forget. When you forget, and you'll realize the more you feel supported on your path, it's because you are in the frequency of love. And it's in those moments when you feel so disconnected and lost, and you're seeking clarity, and you don't know what to do, and there's confusion. It's because you've stopped tapping into the frequency of love and compassion and freedom and the willingness to be of service. And I see this sometimes with folks who have all these really big dreams and expect spirit to do everything for you, but it's a collaboration, it's a co-creation, it's a trust fall into actually trusting yourself to create the frequency of love, so you can match spirit's frequency, so that you can bring it out of you and reflect it out into the world to folks who need it the most. It's not the things that spirit is going to give to you that are going to make you happy. If that was the case, you wouldn't be seeking clarity. Like, you wouldn't be seeking those things, right? And and, and notice, like, even if your finances get constricted, because sometimes that'll happen if you're meant to be learning a lesson, right? If your finances get constricted and you are filled with anxiety and all of these things, turn more deeply to yourself and to love and to spirit and your ancestors, and ask them to help reveal to you what needs to be done. But don't ask them to make decisions for you. They don't make decisions for you. The decisions have already been made in the astral. It's you need to be your own compass of love, to be able to discover it within yourself, to be able to move forward. And again, I just keep hearing this reminder from God about being of service. Like, people who like to call themselves messengers and healers and prophets, but then are not of service, are not stewards of money, because money is a gift. It's a gift. We're supposed to take it and turn it into something, and that's even in scripture, right? We're not supposed to take it and hoard it and hide it. um, we create something massively beautiful out of it. And so sometimes when your money is constricting, it's because you're constricting yourself. And sometimes you have to dig really deeply to find your worth and uncover that true feeling of love and desire to be within spirit and to be in a community and see it reflected back to you in the world, and to have a plan for when these beautiful gifts start to come into your life, and it becomes so much easier. I just wanted to share that message because it felt like there were so many people who are trying to walk steadily in their path regardless of money, and it's a beautiful path. And also there is this frequency of love that you can surrender to that sometimes gets missed. And once you tap in, it's like your reality becomes the wildest thing. And last night we were talking about, like, what do you do when your mind starts to freak out, when your life becomes miraculous? You lean even more into love and worthiness, right? You freak out when blessings come because you still feel a little bit unworthy of the love of spirit, of the universe. And on my path, I felt very, very similarly. And every time I go out and start a new a new project, I lean into spirit, I lean into that frequency of love. I don't create anything unless there is an energy of being of service and being selfless with it, regardless of like how much money it's gonna make, or how many follows I'm gonna get, or like how many views. And I was just talking to a content creator about this, and they were apologizing to me for something that they asked me to be a part of. It wasn't getting a ton of views, and I was like, we don't create this work so that we can become attached to the views. Like, that's not what we do. We are to be of service. Like, we are to be of service regardless of the outcome. It's regardless of whether or not spirit's going to bless you. But that moment that you switch into that ego energy, everything in your life just begins to crumble, right? Because you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on your vanity. You're focusing on an external view of validation and a false sense of worthiness. Right? Like it's like it's the opposite of God. And your path is already a part of who you are, and God is going to help you remember that, and take you down these memory lanes. And as you open up your gifts, as many of you are, if you're watching this, you're doing it right now, I'm sure. Like, allow spirit to reveal to you all the parts of you that have always been there, but you've forgotten about. And I'll share this about myself because maybe it'll help you reflect on your own journey of, I kept running into magazine editors, but I'm also an editor, and I used to write for zines. I keep meeting producers and composers because I'm a producer and I'm a composer. I kept ending up at like after parties for some of the wildest movies, like Hunger Games, and like all these things, because I'm an actor. And it was never because I was there so that I can make a bunch of money. It was because my heart and soul is so deep into creation, and I have such a dreamy mind, and everything I look at becomes a film. Right? Like, and everything I look at becomes a book, or everything I see I want to paint. It's because that aspect of me is inside of me and inside of my heart. And so God was reflecting that back to me, even putting me in front of cameras all the time. I would just walk outside of a hotel, or I was in Charlotte and there's a photographer from LA just taking pictures, and I would just stand there smiling, not asking questions. But it's like when you walk in your faith and admit to yourself that you're ready to feel love, true surrender, true worthiness, your whole physical world begins to change because you changed. And so I wanted to share that message with you, and also remind folks that um, next week is the third journey in Z School for the Gifted. We're going to be opening up our heart chakras and our throat on this ascension journey into this fast manifestation portal for June. And then the following week, we have the Kick the Shit challenge to remove any negative thinking, self-sabotage. And I'm going to teach you my framework that will help you follow through on anything in life. It's literally foolproof, and I love it so much. And you also get access to another live training a couple weeks after, called Unstoppable Wealth Creators, so you know how to manage your money and unblock any low frequencies that might be lingering. So when the fast manifestation energy comes into your life, you are prepared, you are able to receive God's blessings. So that is available to you, and it's going to be in the description. And if you missed today's live, make sure you check it out on the live tab. Patrick Hart of PDP Media, who I also was on a reality TV show with and competed alongside. We talked about their purpose, shifting from pain into empowerment. They were also in the military. They are a phenomenal human being, and we're going to be doing some more episodes, and the next one is going to be life advice. He is happily married, and so we're each going to be bringing our parts onto the scene so you all can ask questions. He is someone you definitely need to know. And then I also have on Monday my good friend Azure, who is an activist, a doula, and comes from the education space, who's going to be sharing their thoughts. And then we're going to have a live cooking show with my good friend Ethany, who bakes and owns Big Mama's Preserves, and we're going to be talking about ancestral food and medicine and magic, and it's a great journey. So be sure to check everything out below in the description. You can also go to BuujeeSavageProductions.com to find all of my resources there, and I'm sending you lots of love, lots of hugs. Remember to follow your heart. Remember, you already have everything that you need, and just trust that you are always in the right place at the right time. I'm sending you lots of love, peace, my friends. I forgot to say my name was Z, but you'll figure it out. Bye, everybody.